Hi, I'm Dale with eReplacementParts.com. Today we're going to show you a short little video on how to adjust your Bosch miter saw. This will be for the 4412 and the 5412. First thing we're going to show you is, how to adjust the fence to the blade so we're on a perfect 90. The tools we're going to be using: 10mm wrench, half-inch socket, 10mm socket, speed square, 4mm hex key, and a carpenter square. First thing we're going to do is on the back of the support fences. We've got to get those out of the way. There's a set screw on the back, 4mm. You're going to want to back that out, and then also take your knob off, and that'll let that slide out, and then we'll go do that on the other side. Now on your fence you got 4 bolts to hold that on. They're 1/2 inch. And we're going to loosen those up. And that'll loosen that fence up. And we want to make sure we're on our 0-degree mark. And that should just slide into place when it gets close. Kind of wiggle it a little bit, make sure it's in there nice and tight. Tighten your knob up. Going to grab our carpenter square, put that on the table. Bring our blade down, lock that into place. Actually, I'm going to take a paper towel and kind of pin that guard up out of the way. Kind of wedge that in there and so it stays up out of your way. Release our slide. Slide that back and forth. Now usually what I do is on the right side I'll push that guard back as far as it will go, and then snug those bolts down to try to keep that from moving. We don't want them too tight, just good and snug. Then we can bring our blade down, slide our square over to it, bring it back up, and then come back here on the top, and I'm hitting my square, so I know I've got to go back a little bit more. And that's about perfect right there. So hold it tight. Snug down those nuts. Maybe check it one more time. That's pretty close. And then go ahead and tighten them down good and tight. And that should be square. Next step, we're going to adjust our 0-degree bevel. Okay, on the back of the saw, these are the bolts that are going to adjust the miter for the 0-degree bevel. A and B basically hold everything tight, so we're going to break those loose. C will be this bolt up here. This is going to make our adjustment for the 0-degree bevel. We have to loosen the set screw down here, and we're going to back that out about 3 turns. Get that out of the way. And we're going to place a square on our blade, and I'll rotate the saw so you can see that from the front end. And we can see we're out about 1/16 of an inch. So here in the back, I'm going to adjust it with the bolt C and see if we can get that to straighten out. Actually, don't forget to release your bevel. that looks pretty good right there. You want to apply a little pressure on your motor here to make sure it stands up straight. And that looks pretty good right there. So now I'm going to tighten my set screw, or actually I'll tighten A and B first, and then tighten my set screw. And remember, your bevel's released, so you don't want that tipping over on you. I got A and B tight. That still looks pretty good, so I'll set my set screw. And that should complete the process on setting your 0-degree bevel. Okay, now we're ready to adjust our 45-degree bevel. To get to that, we have a bolt here in the back again. In the instructions it's called bolt F, and it's right down in here. And that's the one we're going to be adjusting the 45-degree bevel with. Okay, so now we're going to release our bevel, tilt that down to the 45. Just leave your lever unlocked. Grab your square, bring your blade down. Keep your square back up against the fence. We'll bring that in, and we can see we're out quite a bit, probably a little over 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to adjust that out with the F screw in the back. So we can see that's starting to bring that down. Do a quick check. Looks like we're still out just a little bit. That looks pretty good. So we just leave it where it's at. There's nothing to do to tighten it down into place. We can bring that back up, bring it back down again, check it. Looks pretty good. We'll leave that where it's at. Now you might want to make a few cuts with it and make sure it's on a good 45. And we're also going to print up some instructions to show you all the steps to take to do this. So that's how you adjust your miter saws.